see those bumps, ladies. I'm gonna get an update.
Yours is definitely bigger than mine.
How are you feeling right now? You are in the home stretch, sisters.
Home stretch.
It's pretty crazy. We both are very tired.
Very tired.
Trying to get as much sleep as we can before the babies come. But we're really excited. We cannot wait to meet our little one.
Now, third trimester here, and I am just totally in awe of the fact that, clearly the two of you, you're twins, but you're 2 weeks apart.
A week and a half. And it's really crazy because our babies, everything's the same.
Yeah.
They measure the same, they weigh the same right now.
The heartbeats are very similar.
And so we kind of feel like these babies are going to come on the same day. I will not be shocked if her and I both go in labor on the same day.
I know. I'll admit it. Me too.
You guys have things packed? Are you ready and raring to go?
So we started having things packed. I think Brian's a little bit more prepared than Artem, for sure.
Because we've been through it.
We did our first test drive to the hospital yesterday, and we got lost, and it took a lot longer than it was supposed to. And I guess that's why you do these things. But I was like, didn't you have it in the GPS? And he's like, no, I thought it was just this way. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Typical man to not want to type it into the GPS or ask for directions.
Seriously.
I gave her a helpful tip. I was
She
like,
did.
you make it a contact of your phone. So then you just put in hospital real quick. It's in your phone. It pops up. You hit the address and boom.
So that's what we did after the fact. And then I made him take me through a drive-through and indulge. I needed it.
So what have those cravings been?
People are gonna think this sounds so silly, but I think because we are in 110-degree heat, I crave protein shakes. I know. We were like, that's it. I love protein shakes. Brie and I both. We do though crave big time carbs. I think because for so long, Brie and I were so careful with our carb intake, being professional wrestlers, wrestling on HDTV, that I told Brie, every day I have to have some type of carb. And Artem is just an incredible baker, so I'm having a lot of sourdough bread.
So good. Okay, so any updates on your birthing plans?
So for me, I'm totally still want to film the experience. And that's the plan as of now. Things are changing, I feel like weekly due to COVID-19. As of now, only Artem can be in there, so Artem would have to film. But we're praying that by the time I deliver that Brie, because I really want Brie in there with me. And I'm hoping that we could bring a total Bella's producer so Brie and Artem can just be in the moment with me and not worry about filming.
Right.
So it's just, we have to follow the state rules, and all due to COVID-19. So in a perfect world for me, I would have our Total Bella's producer in there filming and have my sister and Artem by my side and just introduce our baby to the world.
I'm like Nikki. I filmed my whole experience with Birdie, and even though it was different than what I thought, it's still really fun to go back and see it. So I want to film this experience because I want to see if it's going to be the same or different. As right now, my fingers are crossed that I have a natural birth and I go into labor naturally. If not, I'll probably have to end up having another C-section. So, but I told the cameras, I'm like, you guys are more than welcome to come in and film. And then if not, I was like, I'll ask one of the doctors to film it on my iPhone.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Nikki, you had mentioned that you had a scare with the baby recently. Is everything okay?
Thank goodness. It was, there was just something they saw in our baby's heart. And so they had to take a double look at it. They just saw a speck and they were like, this, might not be great. And in the end, thank God it wasn't anything not normal. It was something that a lot of babies go through. Our baby is so extremely healthy. I thank God so much for that. But it was scary because you had to wait so many days for testing and all that. And it felt like years, and I just wanted to know. But in the end, thank goodness, everything was all okay.
Well, how is Miss Birdie doing, Brie? Does she have a preference as to, does she want a little brother or a little sister?
I think she wants a little sister. He keeps saying that, and I feel like all little girls, like they just want to have someone who's like them, to dress up and probably boss around. But she's been doing really good. You know, I think it's going to be hard on her when both the babies come because of the last couple months. She's had both Brian and I and Nicole and Artem's attention, and it's been all about her. And then come less than 8 weeks, it won't be. So I'm nervous for that, but she, you know, the one thing every day I kind of teach her is how much I need help, and I need you to help mama. And like with laundry, and we'll do the dishes and all these things. And I even show her how to rock a baby. So I feel like she's going to really love being an older sister.
Oh, I am.
Or fingers crossed.
She seems very nurturing to me already.
Yeah.
I can't wait to know what the gender of this baby is of both of y'all. But I think it's so mind-blowing to me that, Nikki, you know what the gender of this baby is. You've known for a long time, and girlfriend, you have kept quite the secret.
I have. It's been so tough. That's why I'm excited that everyone's finally going to know, because then now I can like share pictures of the nursery and like not have to always think about like what, like say baby, don't say whatever. It's been really tough. I'm surprised that I've been so good about it.
You've been so good.
So good, right?
I've been so good too.
Where are you guys on names? And what if there's a chance that you both want the same name?
We're so different.
We're different.
But I have a Russian, so my names are very different because I have to follow traditions.
And Brian and I always go more with like
Free
nature
spirit.
and we also have to stick to the bees because Brian, his whole family were bees, and so everyone in our family's bees, so that makes it a little tough. But if we have a boy, we really want to name him after Brian's dad who passed, so it'd be Betty. And then if we have a girl, we're like torn between like 5 names. It's actually crazy because Brian and I haven't really seen eye to eye on baby girl names. There's kind of one we're both like, okay, we really like, but he keeps throwing these names out. I'm like, no. And then I throw some out and he's like, no. Yeah. So we need to really finalize that.
Y'all get on board with that real quick, Brie.
I know.
Yeah. Now, Nikki, you said that you have, obviously, your baby will be part Russian and you have to go by Russian tradition. So what is that? Enlighten us.
As far as like middle names, so no matter what, like Russian tradition, girl or boy, you always take the father's middle name. And also Artem's last name is obviously very Russian. So thinking of names to flow is very difficult, like very difficult. So we think we finally have one.
Y'all are just, the two of you juggle so much at once. And here you are juggling motherhood together as well. You recently put out a New York Times bestselling memoir. Also had you going into some really dark times that you had to relive.
Yeah.
How was that process for you?
It was really hard. It's crazy because it took us 2.5 years to write the book. And it kind of felt like we were going in therapy again. Like, you know, when you have to relive stories if you're re-talking about them, it's crazy how all the feelings come back, and feelings that you once thought you could control and that you know, really grew away from, they're all back there. But Nicole and I knew it was really important to tell those stories. A lot of stories that we never talked about on Total Divas, Total Bellas, or ever really in our WWE careers. So we're like, you know what? It's time now that people know about like our childhood and what made us strong women, and the things we learned that we hope other people can learn from too. Because Nicole and I do believe, like, when you go through something bad, you could victimize yourself really easy, and it's hard to grow from that. Or you could look at yourself as a survivor and become really strong from something. And that's really the message we wanted to hit with everyone.
You've both been very open about your relationships, and one in particular, Nikki, that you talked about with your book was, of course, your very public relationship with John, whom you do not name in the book because you want to keep it focused on you. John reached out to you since the release of your book to give you any sort of feedback or response.
Yeah. Well, it was actually, he sent Brie and I the sweetest text of just congratulating us on our book, on New York Times bestseller. That's one thing that John is just has always been so beautiful at. I always was like, you need to be a motivational speaker. Like, he has such beautiful words. You see it on his Twitter. He's very motivating. And what he sent Brie and I was just, the words were so beautiful. It made us feel very proud of like what we did and feel very accomplished. So yeah, we heard from the book, and he was proud of the fact that we told our story, and that felt great.
And I feel like right now we are going through so much turmoil in this world. And there's so much pain and hatred out there. And here you are, two beautiful women that are preparing on being mothers. And what is it that you are hoping for your children at this time? What lessons are you hoping to instill within them, and conversations that you hope to have with them?
You know, for myself, just even having a 3-year-old and then a baby come in, and I've written this too on my like social media platforms, but we have to educate our kids. We have to educate our youth of the things that are going on. We don't want to shelter them because they'll never learn. I'm Birdie's first teacher. I'm the first role model. I'm the first person to teach her about love, to teach her all these different things. So it's my duty as a parent to instill in her love and kindness and peace. And I think 2020 is going to be one of those years that we're going to tell our kids, it was a hard year to live, but it brought so much change, and change we needed. I feel like at the end of 2020, we're all going to be like, you know what? We needed this. We all needed to be in our houses, think about our lives. We needed to stand up and think to ourselves, like, do you know what Black Lives Matter? Have you educated yourself? Like, to see a community that needs everyone's help. I think this year we're all going to toast when 2021 comes and be like, we all needed this, and now we all feel good. And I see a big shift in everything, but I feel like I'm starting to see the good come behind. And so I want both my kids to know. And I'm going to tell one, you were 3 living it, the other one, you're in mommy's belly, but at the same time, you know, we were all part of that change that needed to happen.